Japanese journalist, and it is for her own life experience in school. She was rusticated out of 3 schools before the age of 6. Before the age of 6, 3 schools rusticated her, till she joined Mr. Kobayashi's school, where when she went on the first day, she spoke for 6 hours to Mr. Kobayashi. Because imagine, nobody was listening to this little girl. And Kobayashi had the patience to listen to the girl for 6 hours. 6 minutes, and we'll be searching our phone, any WhatsApp messages, any Facebook. We can't stay away. We just have stopped listening. That's why we are so happy with the WhatsApp. We don't have to listen to anybody. I can ignore your WhatsApp. I can just forward it to 10 million people. That's all I can do. We've stopped listening and talking to each other. What is the maximum that you will talk to each other here, whom you are meeting? How's the weather in your city? Weather is a good friend for all of us. Good start for conversation. Non-controversial. Absolutely. So it's very important to understand practical skills. They're going to need those. Wisdom skills, they are going to need those. Because you may give them an idea, but how are they going to use that idea? Are you preparing them for that? You're teaching them theorems. Where in life will they be using and applying those theorems? Important for you to tell that to the child. Very important. They should be able to relate it to real life experiences. Another thing which is lacking in our country is full school engagement. The pre-primary will be doing something different. The primary will be doing something different. And the secondary will be, they are gods. They will be completely doing something different. So you have the queen bees, the worker bees, and the soldier bees. That's how the school system is made. We never want to integrate the 3. Never. Pre-primary has to prepare children for standard 1. So what should a child know when he comes to standard 1? He must know how to write, copy from the blackboard, read, add, subtract. There are schools which even ask them to multiply. And it shocks me that means these educators, these so-called principals, don't know cognitive development. They don't know what a child can do at the age of 5 and the child can do at the age of 6. I was with a parent sightseeing once, and we were very high up on a 14th floor, and we could see trees down there. And a child of 7 years was with her, and she said, "Look, those are the treetops." So he said, "No, that's grass." So the mother said, "You're dumb. You know those are treetops. That's how trees look from the top." So he said, "No, that's grass. It's looking like grass." Now that was an important moment where the parent could have discussed and understood why he thinks it looks like grass. And to me as an educationist, it was very clear that this child has never seen a treetop. So naturally what is looking to him is grass. And that's what's wrong with our system of education. We are introducing concepts to children in 2D. Whiteboards in our classroom, iPads. They're never seeing objects in 3D. And learning, cognitive development's first basic need is for me to see things alive, to see things in 3D. Then you will bring in a technology called 3D technology. It will revolve. But that's not going to help your child. It's still something that he's not experiencing. When you take children on a field trip, it's very important for children to experience the field trip. Experience every aspect. Children hate going on a field trip because they know when they come back, she'll make me draw about it. Coming to drawing, let's do another task. You all have been given pencils and pads in front of you, right? I want you to do a small drawing for me, please. Please draw a house with a sun shining on it. Please, quickly, draw a house with the sun shining on it. It's not a drawing competition, don't worry, you won't be graded on it. And I know, I apologize for making educators, principals, directors, head of departments to draw a house, imagine. But please draw a house, please humor me. Have you finished? Yes. How many of you drew a house with a roof? With 2 windows and 1 door? And how many of you live in a house like that? You have stopped at standard 1. That's how your teacher told you to draw a house. You stopped there. You've now stopped drawing. See? A roof with 2 windows and a house. Everybody will draw the same house. Teachers have taught us, you are one of those penguins, ma'am, which went beyond the string, if you've not drawn a house like that. So clouds also, of course. Clouds have to be there in the sky. And the sun, most probably for all of you, was shining in the corner. It never moves. And then there will be some, yes, see, look at all your houses. I want you to compare all your houses. Can the camera come here, please? All the houses are the same. We all live in the same house. We have no class differences when it comes to drawing a house. This is what your standard 1 teacher taught you. And you hated it, so you have stopped enjoying drawing. So now drawing is a shortcut for you. You've stopped being creative because you had a drawing exam. I can't even fathom how you can have a drawing exam. Drawing is a creative skill. How can you exam me on it? What else are we going to exam? Breathing skills from tomorrow. Let's do that. Let's test children on how well they breathe. How many of you have read Rabindranath Tagore's story, The Parrot's Training? Oh, as educationists, you must read it. It's a satire that Rabindranath Tagore wrote about 150 years back. It's a satire on education system. The Parrot's Training. The translation is now available on Google Auntie. The poem was actually written in Bengali. And I'll give you a gist of the story. It's about a king who had a parrot and wanted this parrot to speak, not to sing songs or speak like a bird. He said, how idiotic. How can a bird squawk? He has to learn to speak. So he appointed teachers to teach this parrot how to speak. And each teacher was different and said, this parrot is moving too much, tie his leg with chains. This parrot is not able to say things, stuff his face with paper. And it went on and on. And the king would come and ask the teachers, so how is everything going? And the teachers would say, very nice, but he's a very stubborn student. We still need more time. And then one day, the cleaner of the cage found that the parrot was dead. And the parrot had been dead for 3 months. The teachers did not notice. And that parrot signifies the student in our classrooms. That's what we are doing. It is things like this that should inspire us. That are we still killing the parrot in our classrooms? Because we are only focused on achieving test scores and completing our portion. How sad. How extremely sad. In history, because I'm from Maharashtra, in history we learnt about Bajirao and Shivaji and all. But I came to know about Bajirao only with Ranveer Singh's film. Had my teacher made it interesting, I would be good in history today. And it's very important to understand, but I've done my B.Ed in English and history, by the way. And when I joined the B.Ed course, I had students who were asking me, hey, history sikhayenge na hum log ko? I said, you're doing your B.Ed in history. Tumko history kyun sikhayenge ye log? They'll teach you how to teach history. So I used to have teachers who would mug up about the World War, about history, and go and spew it out in the classroom the next day and get marks for it. These are your teachers. Because our curriculum is different in different boards. So ICSE will teach Shakespeare. CBSE will not. Oh, CBSE students don't need to know about that fellow called Shakespeare. Curriculum is totally different in every state of our country. I'm surprised. Is the MBBS course different in every state of this country? And why is education, basic education, different in different states of our country? It's because education has been made a concurrent subject. Sir, you must raise this in Parliament. Education cannot be a concurrent subject. Are you trying to tell me that a person in Kerala needs to learn multiplication by standard 1, but a person in Mumbai does not need to know multiplication by standard 1, and a person in Delhi should even know division? Maybe because that's where the people sit who divide. What kind of a nonsense is this? How can education be a concurrent subject? You can educate people in different languages. Your culture may be different. But education is development-based. And the development of every child in our country needs to be same. It can't be more, it cannot be less. So this is a project done by a school where they integrate the topics throughout the school. So if solar system is happening in the secondary section, it will happen in the primary, it will happen in the pre-primary. So this is how they will do it. The pre-primary children will also have a topic. They'll make it at their level. This child has made an outer space creature from clay. So at every level, each one will do it as per their developmental level and their skill level. But the whole school is involved in the entire project. Ultimately, when this child passes out of school, he will be part of a society which will have younger children, older children. When you join a company as a boss, you will be leading people who are 20 years your young or 10 years older than you. You will have to learn to get along. What is this thing about 14-year-olds can only get along with 14-year-olds? And 4-year-olds should only get along with 4-year-olds. Then how will I fit into society when I come out of school? Second is project-based learning, very important. Now, project-based learning again has become a nightmare in this country because we ask the parents to make the projects. So you have people now, I'm surprised and shocked, there is a profession called, they make projects for students. So you can buy projects from them. And I really fear what must be going on in this parent's mind, that when they are buying that project and submitting it on their child's name, what happened to ethics? What happened to value? What's happening? That's not project-based learning. This is how project-based learning happens throughout the school, and especially so when you have things like this. This is a video game that the children made live. So you like a video game? Now make it live. So make it a real-life experience. How would that be? And in this, then, you have collaborative learning. The person who's playing the game is blindfolded, and his partner will have to guide him through the whole game. This is collaborative learning. This is what should be part of the project-based learning that you have. If two children talk, we don't let them sit together. You both were talking, please don't sit together. We feel like that as a teacher. You're talking, change your place, change your place. How will collaborative learning happen? It's time from our libraries we removed the board called silence, please. You know, when you read a book, you get excited and you want to tell your friend, look at this picture. And the librarian says, shh. No, if you want me to enjoy a book, I will talk about it. Tell me to talk softly, but don't tell me to keep quiet. I want to share my learning. I want to discuss. I want to do that. Neuroscience today has proven what people like Piaget, Maria Montessori were saying ages ago. Have you heard about Gijubai Badeka? Yes. He's an educationist from Gujarat. He was a Montessorian, but he was called the Mooch Wali Ma by his children because he had a mustache, but he was like a mother to all his children. And he taught the concept of teaching through stories. Very important in today's education, that you must teach children through stories. That's what the Panchatantra is all about. Do you know how the Panchatantra came about? The Panchatantra came about because a king had 4 or 5 sons who were unruly. He couldn't control them. Nobody could teach them. So he sent them to this teacher who taught them through stories, and those stories are called the Panchatantra. But we don't like that now. We have a Kindle. And I doubt whether you can download a Panchatantra on a Kindle. Kindle will help you download Harry Potter. Okay, fine. If children like Harry Potter, do introduce them to Harry Potter also. Hari is a potter and he makes pots. So this is important for you to help children. Now, neuroscience education is what should be there in B.Ed courses. What are you teaching ultimately? Which organ are you teaching? It's the brain. And if teachers don't know how the brain functions, then they are just trying to do something which they are clueless about. We have chemicals in our brain. And these are the three most important chemicals: dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. These are the chemicals that are in the brain when children play on video games. When you hear somebody say good things about you, when you will all get your awards today, these are the chemicals that will be highest in your brain. Because when you are in love, when you are happy, you get a surge of these chemicals in your brain, and that surge leads to self-confidence, it leads to attention, focus, and logic. This is what happens to these chemicals when there is anxiety. When these chemicals are not there, there is no self-confidence, there is no focus, there is no attention. And a teacher usually enters the classroom and glares at the children. Say good morning. And this is what happens to the chemicals in the brain. Or she will start a topic and say, better pay attention, there is a test on this. Oh my God. This is what happens in the brain. You have no attention, you have no focus, and you have no learning happening. Happiness, which is the highest chemical, serotonin. Serotonin is required in the brain to help calm the brain. Dopamine is, the short form is dope. Have you heard about it? He's on dope. Why do people go on drugs? Why are our teenagers, pan-India, on drugs? They lack something which is love and a stress-free environment. And that is why they get their dopamine kick from an external drug. But actually their brains can make dopamine. But we are not giving them the situation, the environment in which their brain can make it. And this is how depression looks like. Chemicals are completely at a low. Why would you want children like this in your classroom? And why would you want a teacher like this to teach children? I like Indigo Airlines because on their pilot door, they have written, flying is a serious profession. Please don't bring your worries beyond this point. I love it. That means they are taking flying extremely seriously. And this is what we should do in schools also. Help our teachers with their emotional health. Teachers are a very stressed out breed. Extremely stressed out. They have even stopped complaining about their salaries now. Because koi nahi sun raha hai. So it is no point talking about salaries. But today's teacher actually doesn't work for salary, you know. We did a survey to find out what motivates teachers, and it's learning. They like to stay in environments where there is learning. They want to grow. So please help teachers grow. Please help them understand neuroscience. And then they will be able to handle all the issues that they face in the classroom, which are actually teacher-made and not child-made. Because we don't understand why the child is behaving the way he's behaving, we try to mold him into something that the child isn't. As I said, I was a talkative child. I was always told to keep quiet. Always. I wish my kindergarten teacher could see me now. Right? I hope I've done her proud.